How many people love change? I'm one of those people. I love change as long as it's my idea and it's imposed on me. I can be a lot more resistive, and we all can. So there's two things that I want to share about change. One is that we can change profoundly in an instant and for the rest of our lives. We also can resist change forever. So I want to give you some examples on how that works. Dr. David Burns, who is a psychiatrist from the United States, once was speaking to a room of 300 therapists. And he said to them, I want you to think about the person who most annoys you, most gets under your skin. And he says, picture that person in your mind. He says, okay, now I have a magic button. And when you push this button, that person will become your best friend. Who wants to push the button? And I think in a room of 300, there were maybe 3 people who raised their hand. And he said, that's okay. You have really good reason why you don't want to push that button. Now, some people, including therapists, may say, but it will be in your best interest. You want to be that person's best friend. It's going to make it better for you. Why would you not want to push it? But the reasons we don't want change, and the reasons people didn't want this magic button, were several. One was they didn't believe it was going to work. Another was somebody said, I actually like hating this person. It's fun for me. Somebody said, I have another best friend. I don't want to change the status quo. And some people said, I don't care whether they could be or they're not. They hurt me so much. I don't want to go back to being their best friend. These reasons why we resist change, we don't trust it, we feel hurt, we don't want to change our status quo. These are really important things that we have to understand for ourselves when we're resisting change. And we have to understand it for others when they seem to not do what we think is in their best interest. So when we understand the reasons people resist change, we can deal with those rather than just trying to convince them, trying to be a cheerleader, trying to say, you don't get it. This is really in your best interest. So let me go now to the reasons why we can change profoundly in an instant. And I'll use an example from my own life. I used to be so shy that I would cross a street before I would say hi to somebody I knew because I felt so awkward. I didn't go to social events unless it was just people that I knew because I didn't want to have to make small talk. I would really feel anxious about it. One day I was about 26 years old, working with a woman who was in her 60s, and she said to me, why are you so shy? And I said to her, I've always been shy. Like, I'm the shy one in my family. It's just who I am. She said, no. She said, what are you thinking when you're feeling shy? And I said, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling that what I have to say is boring, or people will think I'm stupid, or they're not interested. And I said, I guess I have an inferiority complex. She said, no, you don't. I said, I don't? She said, no, you have a superiority complex. I said, I do? She said, yes, if you think everybody's hanging on your every word, worried about how you look, how you sound, you must think you're the center of the universe. And you know what? In that very moment, everything changed for me. Because I know that you don't care if I'm boring. You don't care if I'm stupid. If we are interacting together, what you care about is, do I have anything to offer? Am I going to make you feel better, or am I going to make you feel worse? Do I have information that's of value? And it flipped a switch in me that has allowed me now to speak in front of thousands of people and know it's not about me. Not everybody who's shy can have somebody say something to them and it immediately changes, but it's possible. It is possible to change in an instant profoundly for the rest of your life. It's also possible to resist change forever.